Hi guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we are going to be talking about the time I spent working on a COVID testing center. I'm super excited to share this little story time with you guys. But a little backstory for those of you who do not know, I am a medic in the National Guard. And I have a whole bunch of videos planned about Army life and what it was like in basic training, what it's like being a medic, and so on. So if you want to know more about that, you have specific questions about that or videos you want to see, throw that down in the comments. But for now, I'm just going to kind of skip over a lot of that so I can get to the story for this video. So anyway, I was put on orders back in April, and that meant that I was just going to an armory every day with some other medics, and we were doing work, and our mission was basically to prepare the unit in case we were needed to be helping with COVID. So if we needed to go run a testing site, if we needed to go help hospitals, whatever the state decided they needed done with my unit, we would be prepared. So like the minute they said, hey, we need you here, all of our trucks were packed, everybody was good and ready to go. And now I did that at least a month until I was sent out of town to a testing site to work at. It was just myself and 3 other medics. One medic went to another site, the 4 of us went to this one. And I was working at a COVID testing site, and it was so cool. So it was this big tent, and it was meant to have 4 vehicles in it at once. In the middle was just a line of tables. We could have 4 stations running at the same time, and I was what we called the like semi-clean person. So I worked with a nurse, and she actually administered the test. We were doing the nasal test, and what I would do is I would scan their QR codes with the little tablets they gave us. I'd punch in all their information on the tablet, and then I would hold the little test tube for the nurse. She could break it off in there, I'd close it up, seal it in a little biohazard bag, and put it in a cooler. So what is the test actually like? Now, I did get tested, so I'm going to be honest with you, it was not fun. That being said, it's not terrible. It's not that bad. It is very uncomfortable. So they take this long Q-tip, basically, this long cotton swab, and they put it in your nose on both sides, and they have to go all the way back into your nasal cavity, and they have to like twirl it around basically just to get as good a sample as possible so that you only have to be tested once at that time and you don't get inconclusive results. So that's basically all it is. You come up, you blow your nose, they swab you, and you're good to go. 72 hours later, you get your results. You get a link in your email which sends you to a patient portal to get your results. Super easy. So that's what we were doing. I was there for 2 weeks. I was put up in a hotel because I was too far away from home to come back to my house at night. While we were working there, we were working 10-hour days. And the first couple of days were really busy. So none of us minded the long hours. It was just car after car after car. All 4 stations were being used. It was awesome. And then almost immediately, just at that particular site, in that location, it got really slow. And I know some other sites in the state were just jam-packed every day, and that's wonderful. Mine just wasn't. It got so slow, and it was really boring at times. But you know what? We made it fun, and we hung out. So us medics and the nurses sat together, and we would just talk, and we would take some of our PPE off, our protective equipment, because I'm telling you guys, we had to be in full kit. Like, we had to be in these full body suits. We had to have a mask on, we had to have a face shield on, we had to have hair coverings on, we had to have 2 pairs of gloves at least. And I mean, it was crazy. We had to have everything on. We were sanitizing between each patient, obviously. And so we would kind of take a break from that in between the cars, and we'd like take some of our gloves off and stuff, and we would just kind of sit back and relax, and that was nice. And it was hot. It was not nice, but you know, it was good work, and it was only 2 weeks, and then I was done. But on my second to last day, I volunteered to get tested as well. And all of us medics decided to get tested before we went home, just to be on the safe side, basically. We weren't told to, we didn't have to, but we all volunteered because it's being paid for by the state, it's free, and we needed to know. So I got home the next 2 days later, because I had to leave the next morning after my last day. I get back home, and let's see, I got home on Friday. On Sunday, I got my results, and they were positive. I know, you're thinking, oh my gosh, how is she still alive? Again, disclaimer, not an expert, not a doctor, not anything like that. I can tell you from my personal case, as a young, healthy, no underlying conditions patient, I never showed symptoms. Now, as soon as I got my results, I let my chain of command through the Army know, I let my boss at the hospital know, everybody was on board, and everybody was, stay home, don't go anywhere, obviously. So that was the start of my 2-week self-isolation quarantine. Now I say that, but I do live with my boyfriend, so he got to quarantine too. We both had to stay home. And thankfully, we're very, very grateful that neither of us showed symptoms. We were taking our temperature every day, but nothing came up. A nurse from the public health department was keeping in contact with us, checking on us, making sure we were okay, having us fill out forms and whatnot, just monitoring us. But we never showed any kind of symptoms. We were totally healthy, totally fine. And it has since been past my 2 weeks. And now I am good and ready to go back to work. But that is where this started. Now that I finally had that time to sit down and really think about YouTube and think about what I wanted to do with it, I finally got started. So, super excited about that. Again, we were really, really grateful that we didn't show symptoms. We're totally fine and healthy. And at that point, I'm going to wrap up this video for today. Thank you so, so much for staying to the end and watching the whole thing. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Go down to the comments and tell me what you think. Tell me what you want to know, if you want a part 2, any questions you have, especially any questions about Army life and things like that. I'm working on videos about that right now and would love to know what you guys want to know. Please make sure before you click off to like this video. Let me know what you think. Thank you.